It's very special because one of the first libraries that we have in the Manatee County in the Palmetto area was the Carnegie Library in 1914. And we are very pleased that for the people who has the vision to have a library in this community, and we are very honored to be part of this community. I think it's a very, very important asset for the community. This community, and especially we have more blended population in the Palmetto area. As everybody knows, the Hispanic community has been grown a lot, and we have been attracting those community to the library, in addition to the regular community that we have. We have resources and programs for all ages. We have for tweens, which are from 8 to 12 years old. We have program for teenagers. We have program for adults. We don't only check out and check in books at the library. People have a very not clear idea what the library is for, but we have a different kind of activities at the library to encourage children and adults to have a better education. We do educational programs, we do entertainment programs, everything. One of the needs of the community, you know that now everything has to be done through the computer. Job application, government application, everything that they have to do is through the computers. There is a lot of people who has a lack of skills in computer. So one of our goals is to train people how to use the computers, the basic computer classes, more advanced computer classes, how to teach them so they can use our resources. They can use our computers here in the library. And all the library has special computers that allow people to stay 2 hours in the computer to file application, so they have enough time. Right now in Palmetto, we're going to add 2 more computers because in Palmetto, there's a big need of computers for people to fill out the application for jobs. A community with a library will be a lost community because we need libraries to educate people, to encourage the life of people. I have seen here how many people come to the library and say, I got a better job because I learned these skills through the library. So we make a big change in the lives of people to improve their life, to have a better job, to get jobs, to get in the road. I think it's not only to check in and check out books. Books are very important because the power, information is power. We know that. Everybody, whoever has the information has the power. But also we encourage people for having a better life.
Well, it's a continuation of the library system, and obviously for those of us who have lived here for so long and for the new people moving into the area, it allows a tremendous opportunity. I know we have a lot of things now that are digital and the Kindles and that sort of thing, but there's nothing like the warmth of having a book and being able to sit with your children and read to them. So that's one of the important parts of the library for me. There's a lot here as far as the computer system, and you can travel the world right from your local library or even from your home through the library system. So as they say, we've come a long way. Our library system has come a long way, and I'm here to really congratulate everybody that has really impacted and made such a tremendous difference and improvements in the library system over the last 100 years. So kudos and congratulations. Well, there's so many opportunities there also to look back at the heritage and the history of not just Palmetto, but Manatee County. So many of us that have lived here actually had brownie meetings in the basement of the Carnegie Library. So it kind of takes us, a lot of us down, a memory trail to look back on all of our fond memories with our families and friends. And the Carnegie Library is in Palmetto. We do a tremendous amount of projects there, open to the public. The facility is open for tours. They raise funds, and I'm sure they're always ready for donations to help them. But they try to raise funds so they can bring the children from the different schools to come and tour the facility. Coming up, they'll have a Halloween festival there in the historical park, and part of that's the Carnegie Library, and of course those opportunities inside the library, the books, the pictures, all the historical artifacts. There's a veterans museum, and it's tremendous that we have that located right here in the heart of the city of Palmetto. It's one of our gems that we're very proud to brag about and include others to come and enjoy it. I'd have to say you're really missing a tremendous opportunity to open up your eyes and be able to learn about the world, and not just your local community, but the world, and learn what's going on around you, and be able to explore all the different venues that are available in your local library. Check out the books, the computer systems, and there are people here that staff the local libraries that will help guide you through those. And sometimes it's just such a tremendous learning curve for some people that aren't as computer literate maybe, but the libraries do offer those opportunities. Plus they offer programs talking about different historical figures, some of the more noted authors, and they do have some of them that they present here locally. You can come and visit those and get autographs and learn about the world around you. Don't just sit in your home. Come to your local library.
I think it's a really just a wonderful thing. You know, one of the things so nice about Manatee County and Palmetto specifically is, you know, the rich heritage and history and the tradition that we have here. I mean, I remember the library across the street when I was a kid. I did my research projects there. You know, I hate to say it, that was before Google or the internet. I had my Boy Scout troop in the basement of that library, so I've got really fond memories. It's just such a rock and a solid spot in our community. It's just great to be here today celebrating 100 years. That's incredible. Well, don't forget the library. You know, today in the age of the internet and all of the different tools that we have, libraries are still a critical part of our learning, and for young all the way up for the elderly folks in our community. It's such an important resource in our community. So I would say step up. And this facility that we're in today is just a beautiful extension of what started here years ago. So support your library. It's a great source of learning, a great source of resources for whatever you might be doing in your life, whether you're a student or whether you're retired and just enjoying this part of the state.
To be able to have a community that has libraries for over 100 years means that our citizens really care about having educational opportunities for themselves, for their children, for their grandchildren, and we really feel a void that we have in this community. If you come to the library and you're a citizen of Manatee County, you get your free library card. And then you can come in and it opens up, I mean, look at this. It opens up a whole world of opportunities between books on tape, CDs, the programs that we do, the children's programming that we do, the programs that we have to help people that want to become citizens and want to immerse themselves in our country, programs from Spanish to English, to get people involved in all sorts of things, the computer programs. One of the things that I don't think people realize about the library is about how instrumental we are in helping individuals get jobs in our community. Almost everything, every job that you apply for now, it's online. And so we're able to provide that opportunity for people to come to the library, find out how to do resumes, fill out applications, and have a really good shot at getting that really good job, for not only for them, but for them to be able to support their families. I'm proud to be on the Library Board of Trustees. Our staff does an outstanding job in presenting programs of value for the community and just assisting individuals as they come in. So if you haven't come down to the library lately, you need to do so, because it's not your granddaddy's library anymore. Come on down and see what we have to offer for you. I think you're going to be surprised.
100 years in Palmetto serving libraries to this community is so huge. It's so impactful. It's given us an opportunity to meet and embrace the community in the very most interesting ways. We started with books on a shelf, and we've moved to offering services and resources and excellent programming for every age level. And I believe that 100 years is a great way to mark what's been happening here in our Palmetto libraries. Our libraries are offering much more variety in terms of format than ever. We always are going to continue to have the print books, and that is going to be our heart and soul. But now, as we know, so many people are using e-books, they're using e-resources, e-audio, there are e-journals. In addition, you can do streaming video, you can download music. This now gives you an opportunity to borrow things from home rather than having to physically come in our doors, if you would prefer that. Also, those materials that are can't be damaged, and you also can't incur a late fine on them. So it's kind of a win-win for all of us to have these really new ways of offering resources to the community. The programs, again, are huge, and I think we're also looking at ways of where we can display some of the beautiful things that people in our communities do with our displays that now offer people a chance to bring their beautiful artwork or their wood carvings or whatever it may be to share with us. One of the neat ones right now is the Star Wars one. It's a whole display of all the Star Wars characters and all the ships and everything, because we're working on our Star Wars Reads Day very soon at Central Library. Our libraries are vibrant and vital. They are changing. We're using all forms of innovation to make it possible for people to come in and get whatever it is they need. The whole user experience is changing in libraries. It's not just books on a shelf anymore, and every age group can come in and can find more about their information needs, but they can also begin to build community, and they can find new friends. They can learn whatever they may want to about a particular bit of information with one of our programs, and they can also begin to find new ways to collaborate with others in our community. So there are a whole myriad of ways that I believe our community benefits, and they can see new opportunities.
It certainly means a lot to me, because the Palmetto Library has always been a very big part of my life. My mother was the first high school librarian in Palmetto. She came from Mississippi on the train in 1930, and she was the first librarian. She also we loved the library. We always came. She was also very helpful in the establishment of the county library system. So when I retired from teaching, the library became my volunteer effort because everybody can use the library. Well, a gift to the library is for everyone. You can check them out and take them back, and they don't wear out. So I'm so pleased that we could have this 100th anniversary and that we have this wonderful facility that we have. Well, I think there's a community learning center, the Center of Community Learning, and I think that we are making an effort in Palmetto to serve our entire community. And I think that this is a wonderful thing. We can serve people who don't have computers at home. We can serve people who are looking for jobs. We can serve our Hispanic community. So we are just very thrilled about that.
Oh, it brought back many fond memories, and certainly it's exciting to look forward to the future. I love the library. I love books, love reading, always have, so. Well, that's one of the things that we as Palmetto Friends of the Library try to do, is to be sure that people in the community do know just what the library has to offer. It's not just books anymore. There is just so much entertainment, culture, education. It's very important that the community knows what's going on in the library. Well, as I said, one of the purposes is to make the community aware of library services. The other thing is to help to provide funds that are not budgeted for improvements and additions to the library. You know, not too long ago, there was something in the media about kind of bypassing libraries. Libraries were just not needed anymore. And oh, that alarmed me so much, because there have been so much progress made in technology and everything, but nothing is ever going to take the place of holding a book in your hand and reading the written word. I would hope that libraries will be a way of our life from now until the end of time. Good morning. On behalf of the Palmetto Friends of the Library, we welcome you. We're so glad that you came to celebrate our 100th anniversary. And here to help me extend the welcome to you is Yoshira Castro Fritz, who is our director of the Palmetto branch.
Welcome to Palmetto Library. We are honored by your presence. We want to thank you, all the people who had the vision of having a library in this community. And we are committed to have the library for many, many years more for the future generations. And we are really thinking every time times change, as time change, we're gonna move with the time. So it's gonna be something different in this library in the future, more technology, more new things in the library. We thank you everyone for being here and enjoy the program.
Also helping to welcome you is our own Mayor, Shirley Groover Bryant. Thank you, Shirley.
It's so exciting today. I want to welcome everybody to not just the Palmetto Library, but also the city of Palmetto, of which I'm so proud. When I was asked to speak today and welcome everybody and kind of mention what the library system means to me, and I always go back to my fondest memories, and this may sound strange, but of my whole life, I think were spent in and out of the public library system. And a lot of that time was in Palmetto, of course, and in raising my two sons, and their treat was to come to the library. And I know that times have changed and we have a lot of technology now. And I know we all have our iPads with our Kindles on them. But nothing is nicer or more special than those moments you can sit down with your children with a book and actually share that with them. And they have those memories too. My sons are now 37 and 40. And those memories and those times spent sharing those books are instilled in their memories. And for that matter, it's helped to make them very voracious readers. And they know about not just their local community, but the world. And I think that's what the library system has brought to not just Palmetto, but to Manatee County, is the ability to offer, in this day and age, the technology so that our youth and our adults can not just know about what's around them, but the entire world and how they can help to make it better for future generations in all means, you know, whether it's environmental or how they can serve, how they can help their community and join hands to make it a better Palmetto, a better Manatee County, and a better world. So I just want to say today, thank you to all the people that have been involved in creating and sustaining the library system in Manatee County. I just want to say thank you and congratulations. God bless.
You know, Palmetto is a very prideful community, and we're so proud of our library. We're proud of the people that take government offices and public offices to guide and direct our city, county, and state. And it's with a great deal of pride that I introduce our next speaker, especially since he's homegrown, so to speak, somebody that grew up here in Palmetto, and we're very proud of, our State Representative Jim Boyd.
Thank you very much. I'll just be brief, but when I walked in this morning, I have a really hard time calling Miss Burdick Annette, but I will because I'm going to be 58 this year, and I think I can do that. But Annette said when I walked in, "I'm so glad you came." I said, "Are you kidding me? When Alice Boylston and Annette Burdick call and tell you to do something, you do it, right?" I mean, I used to be her paper boy, so I know about these things. But seriously, this is a really big day and a really nice day for our community. Having, as Annette said, been born and raised here, I'm so proud of Palmetto and Manatee County, and representing you in the legislature. It just makes me proud to know what a strong community we have in the heritage that we represent, the history, the commitment to families and to our community is just wonderful. I was thinking over this past week about next door to the library. I mean, I was before Google and the internet, you know, as I was growing up, as some of you were, and that was where we did our research for school papers or for projects that we were working on or any of those things. So I have really fond memories of that. My Boy Scout troop was in the basement of that library, so we spent extra time there as young boys growing up with our Boy Scout leaders there. So this library is next door, and then certainly this wonderful facility means so much to all of us. So thank you for your commitment to what you do year in and year out as Friends of the Library to keep this going. It's a tremendous resource for our community. It's a tremendous resource for young all the way up to old, and I really appreciate what you're doing to preserve that. So thank you very much for giving me a minute to say hello, and congratulations again. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. We're also very happy to have Marianne Barnaby and Artis Wick here this morning. They both serve as trustees on our Manatee County Library Board of Directors. So Artis and Marianne, we're very happy to see you. Did you raise your hand so everybody could see you? Okay. Alice Boston is secretary for our Palmetto Friends of the Library, and she's going to come and introduce our next group of speakers. So, Alice.
Welcome, everyone, again. And Jimmy, my Girl Scout troop met in the basement of the library across the street. It's a long time ago. Today, we celebrate a century of public service at the Carnegie Library and here across the street at 923 6th Street West in Palmetto. 55 years across the street and 45 years over in Palmetto. And the library has been a great service to our community, but it takes people to make a library special. And those are our librarians, and we have a number of them with us today, and I would like to introduce them. First, I will introduce Judy Oakley. Judy is going to speak to us now about what it was like to be a librarian at Carnegie and at 923 6th Street.
Bring this down a little. I feel very privileged to have been a part of the history of Palmetto Library, the early years. At first, we were only open a half day, but we had a very active Friends of the Library and a board, and through their cooperation and their input, we soon were able to be open full days. I had the major highlight, I think, of my tenure was the afternoon when the postman pulled up and delivered 5 phonograph record players and 25 talking books. We were the first satellite station outside of Daytona Beach to provide this service. That came about one afternoon. Mrs. Tennant, who was the librarian at that time, and I were checking the library journal, and there was a very small insert there saying that Washington, D.C. had decided that little satellite stations could be formed for the talking books. So Mrs. Tennant and I began writing several letters. It ended up being about that many, and with the help of our governmental agencies. One afternoon, the truck pulled up, and how excited we were when there were the talking books and phonographs. They were electric. But I was lucky to have very involved board members, ones who were far-seeing and energetic and were such an inspiration to me. They would hold real formal coffees with the white cloths and the silver, and to introduce new patrons to our library. And through their help, the circulation grew. And later, we knew most of our patrons by name. There were some who couldn't negotiate those 2 flights of steps up to the library, so they would call and tell us what they needed, and we'd make selections for them, and then they would come by and we would go down the steps with their books and materials or whatever the research they needed. That was maybe library curb service. We knew many of our patrons by name, and we'd remember to ask them about their family or something that they had shared with us earlier. For some, maybe our winter visitors, that was their contact with us, and I'd try to remember what they had shared with me earlier so I could ask them about, is your son better from his accident, or what had happened, to make it as personal as I could. And how exciting it was to turn the first spadeful of dirt to build this library. I had the prisoners, the mayor sent the prisoners from the city jail to help me move the books. We literally carried them across the street for this new library. And now today, to see this thriving technological library is so rewarding. Thanks for the memories.
Thank you so much. And we have also 6 other former librarians with us, and I'd like to recognize them now. Suzanne Tredokalib. She was in Palmetto from 1974 to 76. And Rose Taylor. Rose has a few words.
I have never been one that likes to talk in front of groups, so I'm going to borrow from one of the most famous speeches. 2 minus 2 years, 2 months, and 18 days ago. That was December 22nd, 1976, for those of you who don't like to do the math. I started my career as a full-fledged librarian in this very building. However, it has significantly changed with its remodeling since I worked here. I was 3 days short of my 24th birthday when I started. I was pretty nervous taking on the supervision of a library branch right out of library school, but I had a great supportive staff of 3 people. We had 1 book truck and 1 shopping cart that we used to empty the book drop. Talking book service for the blind started at the Palmetto branch. We were very proud to have that service in our branch. The mailman, however, was not too thrilled to haul those heavy parcels. One of my most memorable events was when I had to chase a snake away from the front door. Never knew that I'd have to do that after learning in library school. I served 7 years and 2 months before going to the Central Library to become a reference librarian and head up the Interlibrary Loan Service. Now I am 53 days away from my retirement on November 30th of 2014. It's been a great experience doing what I love to help people, and it all started here.
And all the way from Atlanta, we have Cindy Stegall, who was our librarian here in 1988 and 1989. She came for the occasion. Nancy Valente from 1992 to 1997. Dottie Somerville, 1999 to 2009, 10 years. And Yoshira Castro Fritz, 2009 till now. She's our present librarian. And we're fortunate today to have with us two ladies from the Carnegie Historical Library, Amanda Polson, the supervisor of the Palmetto Historical Park, and Tori Chasey Edwards, the curator of the Historical Park. And after the program, they will be happy to take people on tours. They want to take you on a tour, and we think that would be just lovely. And now I would like to introduce our county library supervisor, Ava Eady, who is with us today, and she's going to give us a few minutes about what's in store for the future of libraries.
Thank you, Alice. I believe that change is apparent, and for many of us, change isn't comfortable. How many of you embrace change? About 2%. But change is so important, as we have seen our examples in history from the businesses that did not change, the railroads that didn't change, the IBM Selectric, the things in our history that didn't change, and therefore they're not with us any longer. We don't want to be that in our libraries. So we have worked very, very hard to embrace change and to find new ways to serve the community. We still love books, and books in print are always going to be my favorite. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that agree with me in that area. But how many of you are aware of the changes that have made possible items such as e-books or e-audio? Are you getting a chance to use these? It's amazing. It's amazing how quick and easy it is and how simple it is when you travel to use these resources. It's a lot less weight in your luggage. You don't have to worry about checking them out or checking them back in. They don't get damaged, and there's no late fines. This is kind of a neat model. A lot of our things in libraries are changing for precisely those reasons. We're trying to find new ways to serve the community, and that's just a great example of the ways that we can do that. We're also offering many new programs because we recognize that the community isn't just about their resource needs. They also maybe need to get together and find out more information, or maybe to build new communities as we move forward. So we've worked very hard to find new ways to do that, and I believe one of the best examples of that is our own Yoshira Castro, who this last year won the Libraries Change People's Lives Award from the Florida Library Association. Yoshira works very, very tirelessly with the Hispanic community. She offers computer classes in English as well as in Spanish. She does story hours out in the neighborhoods, and she helps prepare people for jobs and gets them into the workforce. What a great, great change to effect. Our libraries in general are changing, and I believe the innovation is apparent everywhere. Last year we won the Innovative Library of the Year Award from the Florida Library Association, and that makes us very, very proud. it's really exciting for us to find these new ways and then be able to share them with other libraries. But some of the things we are doing are offering bigger programs. I believe this year coming up, we're going to offer some senior programming. And I don't mean senior old, I mean mature. And so we can bring people together for a 6-8 week program, and they can learn from an instructor, they can learn from one another, and at the end there'll be a culminating event. So if you want to learn digital photography, what better way to do it than within the people in your community, and now you can make new friends as well. I believe that's really important. And then at the end, instead of you going to see your grandchildren's art display, they can come see yours. I think that's a kind of fun model. We also are doing things with our youth. We're finding new ways to serve the youth. I believe you've probably heard mention of our Manicon. It is a teen comic convention. Our 5th one is coming up October 25th, and that is really lovely for us. More than 1,000 teens attended last year and took over the Central Library. What better place for the teens? Doesn't that make you happy to think about? They came in and really got an opportunity to learn more about comics, how to draw them, how to script them. They learned all kinds of fun things like candy sushi, and they saw dojo demonstrations and embraced the Japanese art. It's really a neat opportunity. Coming up, we have our Star Wars Reads Day, where the kids can come in and they can become Jedi Knights. This is for the little brothers and sisters. So they can come in and they can do scavenger hunts, and they can also become superheroes. So we have things for different age groups, and I think that's been very important. Of course, technology's been mentioned. That's a huge change. I have no idea where technology is going to go in the future. The only thing I can tell you is we're going to find ways to help serve it. So whether it's somebody coming to us and saying, I need help with my e-reader, one-on-one, or if we bring a program that offers a class for people to learn how to use their iPhones, or we go out into the community with laptops and help people sign up for jobs. These are just new ways that those technologies can be implemented, and we also are looking more towards a collaborative model where we really want to see the kids working together. We want to see the adults working together. So we'll have learning spaces that are also creative spaces, so people can come together and learn how to use a lot of these technologies, but create things and maybe get some skills that'll enable them to get jobs as they move forward. We have had a very, very big impact on jobs. About 2 weeks ago, we had a great job program at our Central Library, and we had about 135 people come. And from that, we have had, I believe, about 35 people already get jobs out of that. That's just a really great way for us to work with other partners in the community like Suncoast Workforce and Women's Resource Center and Goodwill Industries to help people get prepared by using computers to fill out those job applications, because guess what? They're not in print anymore. They're all electronic. So now if you are a mechanic, or if you're somebody that is a short order cook and you don't have any computer skills, you have to learn how to use a computer. You have to find jobs on the internet, and then you have to apply and have that information go somewhere, like to your email account. This is a many-step process for somebody that isn't going to need that technology in the future, but it makes an impact on their job today. So I believe we're changing in many, many ways. I hope you will bear with us. I think we're going to grow, we're going to be flexible, and we're going to really focus on the user experience in our community. What does our community need? And that's going to look different every day, every week, every month, and every year. I can't tell you exactly where it's going to go, but I know we're going to be part of it. I thank you for the opportunity, and I am so thrilled to be part of the history of this library. Thank you.
We are glad to have you as a part of this library. There are so many people that we are glad to have, and so many people that we thank. Here within our local library, you have met Yoshira, but I want to say a special word of thanks to our staff, too. Debbie Reagan, who is our assistant director, Jane Connolly, who is a staff member, Linda Manuel and Sarah Schofield are both members of the staff here at our local branch. And then all of the volunteers that give so much of their time to provide library services for you. And also on the county level, we want to say thank you to Jonathan Sapin, who is the information specialist, Kevin Beach, who is the operations manager for the county services. We've made some introductions this morning, but I want you to know that every one of you that are here are special to the library and library services. We thank you for your support and for coming to help us celebrate. I want to tell you that if you've had a good time this morning, the fun doesn't have to stop here because on November 10th, at 10:30 right here, no, it's November 15th, I'm very sorry. November 15th at 10:30, Warren Caterson will be providing a program here titled Cooking for Two at Home. So if you would come and join us on November 15th, we would enjoy seeing you again. That'll give us another excuse to get together. Thank you so much for coming this morning, for every one of you that cares about our library and has a part in helping it to grow. And we are indeed looking forward to the future. Won't you please go and have some refreshments, and we've got cake and punch for you, so please come by and enjoy that before you leave. And don't forget the tours that are available. If you want to take a tour of the original Carnegie Library, these young ladies right here will be glad to take you over and give you a detailed tour. Thank you for coming.